through hell too at times. I'm gonna be real about that. So I'm a person, if you ever listen to my YouTube channel or you follow me, I keep it real. Like, I'm very transparent. I'm always real about it because we see the outcome, but we don't see the grittiness or the pain or the nights I was crying or the times that I was like, I'm about to settle, or the times where I'm like, this dude I used to talk to looking pretty good. I'm kind of lonely right now. Lord, I've been waiting on you. What's up? I'm going out with him. So I like to tell all sides, not just one side, because sometimes it don't feel pretty. We do know that God is faithful. If you have a personal relationship with Christ, He is faithful. Now, we don't always feel like He's faithful. Let's keep it real. We don't always feel like He on time. Sometimes feel like He late, past due. He ain't never coming. But the truth is, if you can look back in hindsight in certain situations, you have to know that God is faithful. Yeah. He is, and He loves us. He really loves us. But you gotta think about parenting. Sometimes that's tough love. You can't give your kids just what they want when they want it all the time. If you do, they'll be immature, bratty. They won't have the mindset or the mental capacity to do mature things, to grow, to develop. And God ultimately wants us to be the best version of ourselves, to have an abundant life, to have joy, to have peace, to have the things we desire, but we have to be able to handle those things maturely, right? And so when I always talk about, single and satisfied, and we talked about what a godly man wants, and my husband kind of shared where I was when he met me, there was a process. I did not start off that way. And I got so tired. I grew up in the church, and at the time I was going to a church where everybody was married, y'all. I mean, I just felt like a fish out of water. Everybody was married like 18, and I'm like, I'm in my 20s and I'm by myself. Ain't nothing for singles. I just feel alone. I feel like if you live for God, you can't have no fun, ain't nothing to do. I ain't got no man. I can't have sex. Like, I'm like, come on, God. Like, I need some help here, I'm trying to live for you. I love you. Like, but what's up? And so for me, at the time, I didn't find like a singles group, or we didn't have that at the church. We didn't have stuff. So I was like, I'm the type of person that I'm like, am I going to sit here and stay miserable because I don't have a man in my life? No. It's time out for that. Because I had went through that for a while. And I'm like, I can't just sit here and stay depressed and sad and lonely because I don't have a man in my life. So I'm the type of person that if I don't see it, I'll create it. And that's what I did. I'm like, man, okay. But it was a process to get to single and satisfied. Y'all, I'm sure y'all experienced it. I had nights of crying. I had nights of being tired. I had nights of feeling like, God, you're not coming through. This is a waste of time. I'm getting older. Now I'm 30. What's up? I had all of that. And then you have people constantly, they didn't mean harm, but constantly, when you get married? Well, if it was that easy, well, I'd be married, okay? You ask them stuff I don't know the answer to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, really? And I know people don't mean harm, but sometimes the enemy will use that to be like, man, I am still single. I'll go to weddings by myself, 50th wedding, I'm always the bridesmaid. Everybody, you cute, can you be my wedding? No, I can't be here. When it's my wedding? No, and so it got to a point where I was just tired. And then, like I said, loneliness sometimes will cause you to settle. My motto, we all know me, is like, I'm no damsel in distress and I'm not settling for less. But sometimes our loneliness in the heat of the moment will cause us to settle. And I know my husband Max, in that grand 10 years that I was single and satisfied, there were some fallings in that grand 10 years. It wasn't I'm perfect the whole 10 years. No. It was oh, he cute, let me, Lord, that's it. You looking good. Okay. He saved. He saved. He cute, got a good job. Okay, Lord, this probably my answer prayer. Then you get in that thing, it kind of ain't it, but it's it, but this probably it, Lord, because you're lonely. You're tired of waiting. It's just real. We can say we don't feel that way, but man, I did feel that way. You be like, man, I'm gonna make this work, because y'all know we'll fix a man up, won't we? I mean, we'll try. He got this, he got that. He ain't got that or that, but it's okay. We gonna piece this together. We will do. I done tried to piece so many men together. I be like, okay. He did say he loved God. Okay. So we will try to piece things together. And I always talk about build a man mentality, y'all. I'll tell you, I've tried to build my husband so many times. And then in hindsight, I'm heartbroken. Maybe he cheated or left me or married my best friend. And I'm like, that did happen. I don't know if you read my book. one of my closest friends, not my best friend. Then you look back and you're like, Lord, where was you at? God, like, I was there. I was showing you the warning signs. I was saying, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. But I'm like, you know how we are. But he's saying, God, he go to church. He a pastor. He love you. And God said, no, pump the brakes. I said, he ain't real. He ain't right for you. It don't matter. He a pastor. He ain't good on paper, but he's not really living for me. He don't really love you or love me. And also, even dealing with that, the whole thing about sometimes we settle because we're like, God, the kind of man I want, he's not out there. I just think like, I done dated a lot of men, and you know, they ain't none of them about the right. How many of y'all done felt like, I don't know, be real. I done felt like that. Saved, unsaved, half saved, all of it. You be like, the past, ain't none of them right. You're like, I'm good single. I'm just gonna stay single because ain't none of them right. And then, I was there for a season. I've been hurt a lot, and as I told you, I'm a church girl, grew up in the church, so I pretty much dated all Christian men anyway. So you start to think, do anybody really love you, God? Do anybody really serve you? Is there really a man who don't want to have sex with me before marriage? Because that's unheard of these days, in the church or out the church. Is there a man who will really honor me, who won't cheat on me, who won't have 5 different girls they date, they testing the waters? I had to ask those serious questions. And if I go by my experiences, and if I go by my past, my answer would have been no. There ain't a man like that. Absolutely not. In the church, no. And that's a sad thing, right? So I had to go to God, and I had to have a resolve like, okay, Lord, I know what my experiences are. I know what the experiences of my sister, my mom, the women around me are. And I had to lean on my relationship with God. God, you say you give me the desires of my heart. You say it in your word. If I delight myself in you, you give me the desires of my heart. So I have to take God to his word. Like, God, either you a liar or you ain't. Okay. Now you talking some big stuff when you talk to God like that. Now you better be careful. You best be careful. But I'm pretty bold. I'm like, God, either you real or you ain't. Either your word is true or it's not. So I had to come to a resolve. But the only way that I was able to do that was getting in that close, intimate space with God. Because honestly, in my natural mindset or mentality, the man that I have today was not possible. In my experiences, that was nowhere. I'm like, nah, I ain't seen it. Even some of the best fathers, my own father, or certain people that it's like, man, they're great men, but when it came to marriages, I need somebody, I need a little bit different example. You see what I'm saying? So for me, when you think about some of us who dealt with maybe father issues, and my dad's a great father. He raised me, so I want to put that disclaimer out there. But at the end of the day, my parents ended up getting a divorce, and I was like 16. And even though it's 16, it still impacts you, because that's the age I'm starting to date. So you start to look, oh, my parents didn't even work out, and then, so these are things that we deal with, not knowing our fathers who are abusive, maybe fathers who left. And if you ask yourself, well, if my own father who's supposed to love me don't love me, he can't stay with, then who's out there? Who can I count on? I can't even count on my own dad. So when we're talking about healing from my past, y'all, we gotta take that mess to God. Because my mindset was, men will leave you, they'll spend a whole lifetime building, have kids with you. After 20 years, they leave you the dog and all. They don't care. That was the message to my 16-year-old self. They don't care. And I'm starting to date. This is a very dangerous time to be starting to date after you're dealing with that. Reckless, right? Like, oh, okay, let's go with him, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not a good perspective to have. And as we grow as women, we have bad experiences. But how long are we going to keep our expectations at our experience level? How long are we going to do that? How long are we going to keep our expectations at our experience level? For me, I have a podcast called Max Out Girl. And that's so important to me because it's like, I'm going to max out in every area of my life. I'm not going to let your experiences, you, my past, what Satan is telling me, what society is telling me, stop me from getting what the Word of God tells me I can have. If the Bible says, he who finds a wife to find a good thing, he who finds a wife finds a treasure and obtains favor from the Lord, that means there is a godly man out there somewhere who wants a treasure. So I had to say, okay, Lord, it was a tight space with the Lord. I got to block everything out. My desires, my flesh, my past, my parents, my experiences around me, experiences of my friends. I have to keep my focus on you. Your word says this, it's true, I'm standing on it. I don't care how hard it is. It was hard as hell sometimes. Hard as hell sometimes. I don't care how hard this is. I don't care if I'm crying myself to sleep. I did sometimes. And I wasn't a virgin, so I don't care how my hormones was craving sex. God, you gotta help me, because your girl's hurt. You gotta help me, because I'm about to do something foolish. Lord, I want to please you, but my flesh is crying out. My flesh is screaming, because God want to take me out. I'm tired of being alone. God, I need you to help me. Either your grace is sufficient, or it's not. But we don't get that bold with it. We don't get that bold with it. As soon as our flesh cries, oh, okay, I gotta give it in. How bad do you want the promises of God? People want what we have, but they're not willing to wait on it. They're not willing to go through that hard process. My process wasn't easy. There was a lot of joy in it. It was. But there was a lot of sorrow too. But here's how I thought of it. There's going to be sorrow if you keep getting with counterfeits, keep having sex with randoms, keep going with randoms. You're going to feel broken. You're going to still feel lonely. You're going to still be like, man, what's wrong? So why not go through the pain and the sacrifice of really waiting on God, trusting Him, even when you feel like He ain't coming through. Just keep trusting and go through the pain. I'd rather go through that pain than the pain I used to go through. Thinking He the one, He cheat. I done had sex with him, now I feel worthless. I had sex with that one, he don't have sex with everybody else. I was like, you know what, God? And it hurt. It hurt. I had to come to the end of myself. God, I emptied myself out. My past, my mistakes, my desires, my failures. Lord, you in this single season, you and you alone have to complete me. You have to make me whole. You have to bring me joy, satisfaction. I have to know that I, a single woman, can live pure, can have fun, can have joy, can be fabulous, because you know we like to be all that, okay? And live for you. The world makes it like, we can't do that. You gotta be having sex, you gotta be out in the club, you gotta be doing this, you gotta be doing that. They try to make it look glamorous, but they go home feeling guilty after the alcohol wear off. They ain't feeling no better. So I'd rather have that joy, that peace that God brings. And in His due season, He's gonna bring a promise. It may not be when you want it, when you expect it, but it's coming. I don't care if you're 40, you're 50, you're 60, you're 90, you're 100, it's coming. And I love this season. So many women that have been involved in the single and satisfied movement have been getting married left and right to godly men. And I'm like, okay, Jesus, you're doing this way. Okay, I see it. You know, like, He's been doing it. But one thing we have to recognize, even in marriage, is your man can't complete you. So get it right now, ladies. That man is not, I don't care how amazing he is. My husband is amazing. I love him so much. I know God brought him to me, but he can't complete me. And he's sure not perfect. I'm not either. I'll put that out there. I just throw him under the bus. I'm definitely not perfect. So it's, my mom clapping. Don't you clapping? She's like, you so late. But we have to know where our wholeness comes from. We're talking about healing from past. Some of that stuff still try to come up when you're married. I had trust issues because all the men did me dirty. So you're gonna start having trust issues. And then even some men that love God, they just, for a young girl to see someone that just was disappointing. And it made me feel like, man, you can't trust nobody but the Lord. And it's still like that ultimately, right? Really, all this stuff is about, even relationships, having this relationship right first. And He'll take care of this. If somebody hurts you, He will take care of it. People hurt me, but God took care of it. Now my heart can love, and it can accept love, and it can give love. And I don't have to be worried, what if they hurt me? Well, then I'm going to move on. Because I'm no damsel in distress. It's the same model. I'm married. My husband ain't going to do nothing. I ain't prophesying on him. But my point is, I know who I am in Christ. So if something happens, my world, I don't have to be destroyed. Of course, you're sad, you grieve, we go through, but I will not be destroyed. And when you have that attitude, you don't have to go into it like, oh, I'm so afraid to love again. If you lose me, honey, you done lost a good thing. And that's how we have to know. If you wasted my time, and I knew who I was before I met you, oh, honey, I'm sad for you, because I know who I am. And I'm going to rise from the ashes like a phoenix, okay? So we have to get that confidence in us. And I didn't always have that confidence. I would get hurt, and I would be like, dang, like, why? Thank you. Why am I so unlovable? And why is this always happening to me? And Lord, I want a godly man, but not no more. Like I said, you have to know who you are, but that comes from knowing who you are in God, and just knowing your value, and just loving yourself, and even loving how you look. Because I've met some single women that would say, well, you're small, and so many women that I know from the movie that I'm made, we all shapes and sizes and color and hair and everything, and they got some good men, because there is a man who wants you. There's a man that look at me like, she too bony, nobody want that. You see what I'm saying? There are different kinds of men that want different things. So you got to get that through your head. I had to get that through my head. Even in marriage, sometimes I try to act insecure. My husband be like, I married you. You are my type. Get that in your head. You know? Because Satan okay, you finally got your man of God. Now Satan trying to make you insecure. I wasn't insecure when I was single. What's the problem now? Because the enemy, no matter what season you're in, he wants to steal, kill, and destroy. That's why it's so important to get that relationship with him right. Because all your problems don't go away just because you married. Honey, they're magnified. Okay. Just so you know. Just so you know. So many people in the room, and they're like, oh, I can't wait, I'm going to be married, it's going to be perfect. And they get married, they're like, ooh, I want to prepare for this. Ooh, you ain't tell us this. It's like, yeah, because now that other person is a reflection of everything that's wrong with you. He's showing you, boom, you're selfish, boom, this, boom. I said selfish, that's something I have to work on. Boom, this, boom, you know? It's like, ooh, Jesus. So enjoy the season that you're in. I always say, no season is better than the other. It's really not. We always say, oh, you know, the grass looks green. And no, the grass is going to be green where you water it. And so for me, once I got over I'm so sad because I'm still single. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a life that I don't feel like I need rescuing from. That's my motto. I am going to build a life that I don't feel like I need rescuing from. And my goal was that if I got married, and it was an if, because I got to the point where I was like, what do I need a man for? I was like, I'm busy about my business, you know, like I'm doing, you know, all the stuff I was doing, blogging, writing books, ministry, traveling, having my friends, building my girl tribe, like, I'm good. So the thing, like he always says, that attracted him to me was the fact that I had finally got to a place where I was like, Lord, whether you send me someone or not, I'm good. And it was kind of like that question in that game we did. It was like, I'm satisfied, but open to a relationship. Yeah, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm good. If I get married, fine. If I don't, you know, I don't. But it took time to get there, because for a minute I was like, I don't want a man at all. But see, that was out of hurt. And we got to be real with ourselves. That wasn't, I tried to make it like, oh, I'm just independent. No, it was hurt. You got to be real with yourself. It was hurt. It was like, I'm finally whole. I don't need you to come and wreck my life. And fear. It was like, no, I'm good. I don't want a husband. Fear. But then I finally got over that and gave it to the Lord. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm open. But I'm good. But I'm open. And that's when it came. I was like, okay. You know, it came real fast, man. Because I came, we married. I mean, it was fast. I met him. He proposed after 6 months. And then we got married within a year, the same day of meeting each other. So we didn't know each other that long, and we got married. But it was a God thing. And that's another thing. You have to trust God, because you might be like, man, I don't have no prospects. I'm already 40. I got to meet somebody. You got to get to know them. Then marry. Like we, in our mind, it's going to be such a long, drawn-out process. Now, if you would have told me I would have got married that fast, I would have been like, oh, shut up. You know, I ain't stupid, I'm gonna get to know this man. But man, when you're in that intimate space with the Holy Spirit, and you really got that relationship with him, he'll speak to you. He'll show you a person's intentions. He will show you that those intentions. He will show you if that's your husband or your wife. I mean, husband, you know, okay. Yeah, he'll show you if that's your husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just will. And people always ask me like, but were you scared? I never was scared. I never was like, oh my God, am I making the right? No, I had peace. I had peace. And when you spend that time with God, that kind of peace, and when you keep the sex out of it, keep the sex out of it, you can hear God clearly. Because when I was having sex, everybody, I'm thinking, oh yeah, he my husband. Well, if the sex is good, you're going to think he yours. And he toxic, he a devil in a red suit. You like, that ain't your husband. That is not your husband. And keep your legs closed. That is not your man. So it's so important. Like, I don't know if everybody here is saved and follow Jesus Christ, but man, when I tell you for my life is better because of him. I'm not no religious freak. I'm not somebody that just want to say Jesus because it sounds cute. I'm one of the most transparent people you can ever meet. If you ask me something here, it can be extremely personal. I will tell you why. Because my life is to bless other people. So I'm not going to tell you something because I don't gain nothing by telling you about the Lord. It's not putting no money in my pocket. I'm just telling you because it has been such an amazing experience in my life. The joy level, the level of assurance that when things go wrong, I'm still going to end up on that right path. The assurance that if there's something that I desire, if it's a godly desire, it's going to come to pass. There is no way, because my husband is so perfect for me, there is no way that I could have done that. I've tried, y'all, for years. I know it wasn't me, it was God. And the way he did it, I never was going to date nobody long distance. He lived in South Carolina. I'm like, what's that? Ain't nobody about to date nobody from South Carolina, and then you think they're going to be faithful? What's that? I'm not doing it. But the Lord will do some things that's so miraculous that you can't even think that he will do for you. And you won't even think like, I don't deserve that. And God's like, it's not about what you deserve, it's about my love for you. Yeah. It's not about you were perfect, no, it's about your heart towards me. And I think it's so important to get our alignment with Christ right, because the things that we want, they're all in him. You want a man, it's in him. You want more money, it's in him. You want healing, it's in him. And people, I know some people, with the church thing, they not all into, I ain't talking about church, I'm talking about relationship with Christ. It's so important. It's so critical. And everything that you want is wrapped in him. It just really is. And again, I'm not saying because I'm getting nothing. It's my experience in life. And in hindsight, God has been so amazing to me. And just how he put the puzzles together, the pieces of the puzzle together in my life, and I look backwards. In the midst of it, y'all, I'm sure it don't always feel good, right? You might be right now feeling like, man, I don't know what's going on with my life. I'm still single, I'm tired of it, or maybe it's health, or maybe it's a job situation or money situation, and you're like, I really can't figure it out. It's in God. Your answer is in God. It's in that relationship. And in hindsight, sometimes we don't know in the moment, but when you look back, you can see his hand on your life. I never thought that I would be speaking about no single stuff. I don't want to talk about my experiences. I don't want to talk about, some embarrassing things, some hurtful things, being practically left at the altar. Nobody don't want to talk about that. It's embarrassing, right? But when you think about how it blesses somebody else, when you think about what God has on the other side of your pain, and I'm not even talking about being able to share that pain with other people to be a blessing. That's great, but I'm talking about for you, the benefit for you, the benefit that God has for you in that pain that you went through or suffered through, and the times that you feel like he wasn't going to come through. On the other side of that, y'all, is something so amazing. But a lot of us, to be honest, we forfeit the blessings of God because we don't wait on it. We don't wait on it. The wait was so worth it for me. I wouldn't take back anything. Was it hard at times? I'll say on time. It was hard as hell at times. Sorry, if y'all don't like the hell word, y'all ain't gonna like me. Sorry. I was saying I'm as blunt as they come. It is what it is. So, but I say that because, when we say like we go through hell, when we think of the forces of darkness in hell, it's real. And Sometimes we feel like we're in the trenches of it. No matter, it ain't gotta be about being single. It could be about whatever you're dealing with. But on that other side is victory. On that other side, God has a better blessing for us, but we have to wait on it. And yeah, I almost missed out on it a couple times. I'm gonna be honest, I really did. But thank God that He doesn't look at our mistakes. He has grace for us, mercy, love for us. I mean, think about Abraham. Look, I'm about to start preaching now, but think about Abraham. I'm gonna hurry up, I know my time right now. Think about Abraham and Sarah. I mean, he's calling like the father and mother of faith. They messed up. Abraham tried to produce the promise himself by sleeping with a handmaiden. He didn't wait on God. He tried to produce it himself. Yet God still blessed them, and yet God still called him the father and mother of faith. Where's that at? David to kill somebody, to sleep with his wife. Now God says, you're a man after my own heart. You're gonna feel, what? You're just feeling. But God looks at the heart. And He has mercy and grace for us. And that's what's so beautiful. You might be feeling like, I'm gonna watch my words. You might be like, I'm the biggest thought around. I'm just sleeping with all kind of men. I ain't gonna lie, tonight I might give you one. I don't know. I'm tired of this single stuff. And God's saying, but I love you. But I got mercy for you. I still want to bless you with that man of God who will honor you to marriage. You out there going around now. Sorry, older ladies that don't like my talk. I'm sorry. You might be out there now going around, but just come back to me. I got a man for you. All we want is love. That's why we be going around. We want to feel love. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel cherished. But you ain't gonna feel that out of a booty call. You just ain't. We search for it in all the wrong places. You ain't gonna feel that. It might be good in a moment, but you're gonna come back to that empty because that's not where it's at for you. And so I just want to encourage you, wherever you are in your single state, be encouraged. Don't give up. It's gonna be hard at times. I ain't gonna say it ain't. It is. It is. But you have to get an accountability partner. And maybe you don't need that. I got me one. When I was single, I was like, it was my sister. I got me one. I was like, all right, I'm going out with such and such. You need to call me. Make sure I'm home. If not, I might be in somebody's bed. I just wasn't strong enough at the time. I had grown to be strong enough, but there was a season where I wasn't. And I wouldn't even want to do anything. It's just that the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. And if you've tasted something before, it's very easy to go back to it. And so get an accountability partner and build your tribe. Here's some quick tips. Seek wholeness. We kind of talked about that. That's only in God. And if you want to go to Ty Craig for therapy. I think that's cool. You guys don't know that she's actually my sister, my blood sister. And I always say, shoot, I've never gone to therapy, sad to say. And then I was like, why? I just vent to my sister. She has the best advice. I thought about that the other day because I'm like, I've never gone to a therapist. Why? I'm sure I needed it. And then I was like, oh, that's why my sister's therapist. I always talk to her for hours, and she gives me good advice. I was like, okay, so I do go to therapy technically, I guess. I know she's not my legal therapist because I guess she can't do that because we family. Yeah, she can't do that. She says it's unethical, but she be helping me out. So seek wholeness and just be real where you are. I mean, for me, I had to write down my past, my hurts, the things I went through, and just be real. It's uncomfortable because you have to be vulnerable. Like, yeah, I'm insecure. Yeah, maybe I don't like how I look sometimes. Maybe I feel like I went through a season where I felt hidden because no men were checking for me like at all. I went from like everybody trying to holler at me to nobody even looking my way. And you be like, am I ugly? Like, what happened? Like, you know? And then God was like, I'm hiding you. Because right now you can't handle it. You'll be like, ain't got my number, and you're a devil in a suit. He's like, I'm hiding you right now. You cannot handle it. But during that hidden season, y'all, I got insecure. Because you can't go from everybody trying to talk to you, nobody looks your way. You be like, oh dang. And then the devil will tell you all kind of other things, but you can't fall for it. Seek wholeness. And you have to know you the hottest thing smoking if no man ever say nothing to you.